If this was a point race, I think you would see these guys trying to get these cars back in the race. But the fact that he's certainly out of contention, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to put that car back on the racetrack. They may just be trying to get that car where they can load it.
Letting him know. Line back up 2 by 2. Lucas Lassier started 39th up to 24th. And he looked so much better as the race progressed last night in our open qualifying race. Getting into this event.
Really ran some fast laps in that race. He was back in the 7th position. Top 6 were able to transfer, and he chased down the guys running 5th and 6th.
Coming out of turn number 4, Derek Thorne back in the gas. We're back underway.
Darrell Wallace Jr. jumps to the outside of Greg Pursley in a battle for second. Mayhew goes all the way to the bottom.
Here comes Pursley battling for the lead, trying to get by Derek Thorne. Down to the bottom of the racetrack he goes. Side by side as they come out of turn number 4.
But look at all the momentum that the cars on the outside have. We're hearing there's going to be a pass-through penalty for Michael Self in the 21 car.
Darrell Wallace Jr.'s moved up into the 2nd spot. Greg Pursley trying to hold on to 3rd, but he's got a great battle with the 50 of Jason Fensler. 3 wide. Pastrana on the bottom of the racetrack.
That's Chad Boat, the 98 car in the middle. Travis Motley, the 7 car on the outside.
Germain Quiroga in the 2, just in front of Motley.
Heavy traffic here back mid-pack.
Michael Self comes back out onto the racetrack. Joining that pack.
Michael Self back on the racetrack now after that infraction on the restart. Keep your eye right side of your screen. He's going to jump down to the inside and pass 3 or 4 cars.
Tried to pass the field.
3 or 4 rows, which you're not allowed to do at all. You're not allowed to pass 1 car. You're not allowed to pull out a line.
Right.
So unfortunately, he's going to pay the price.
Riding along with Travis Pastrana as he takes the high line now. Trying to get by Motley in the 7.
Move back down to the bottom of the racetrack. There's Andrew Ranger, the 35 Waste Management car.
Running in traffic. There's Jason Bowles on the inside. On the outside, that 86 of Daniel Suarez.
Nice run early for Daniel Suarez.
Suarez being scored in the 6th position.
There's a battle for 4th. David Mayhew, the 19 car on the inside. Greg Pursley, the 26 car, the blue car.
Remember, Pursley was 2nd just moments ago and has dropped back to 4th.
Jason Fensler all over the back of Darrell Wallace Jr. in the 6 car in the battle for 2nd.
Jason Fensler out of Wilton, California, trying to get by Darrell Wallace Jr.
Jason only has a handful of starts in the series, but he's already a winner. He won back in 2008 at Altamont Speedway.
And Jason Fensler's car is the one that Augie Vidovich won at this racetrack in July. Pastrana running in the 18th spot now as he tries to move to the inside of Andrew Ranger in that Waste Management 35.
Rick, do you realize that Andrew Ranger is the guy that won in both series last year? The only one to do it. He won in the East Series, he won in the West Series, as well as he won 3 out of 5 starts in the Canadian NASCAR Series last year.
Yeah, he's a former champion of the Canadian Tire Series.
2-time champion.
2-time champion, and right now he's got Travis Pastrana going by him.
Now Matt Crafton's going to tell Travis, clear. You're able to clear that 35 car.
Takes the spot. And now will set his sights on the next car in front of him.
Got a Quagmire behind him.
Bottom of the racetrack. At 27 of Ruben Ravello.
Remember, Ruben had trouble early. Had a spin. Seen some brake rotor heat already on a lot of these cars. There's Johnny Bornham in the 8 car. Saw his brake rotor for a minute. Now Fensler pulls to the inside of Darrell Wallace Jr. in the battle for second.
Darrell Wallace Jr. staying on the high line. Fensler going way down to the white line, the bottom of the racetrack. They come out side by side of turn 4, but that momentum propelling Darrell Wallace Jr. in front of Fensler. Remember, this race is broken into 3 segments. We're coming up on the halfway point of the first segment. First segment is 100 laps. The second segment is another 100 lap segment, and then a shootout at the end, just 25 laps. Derek Thorne has been dominant in this first segment.
A lot of these drivers can't wait till that intermission to make some changes to these cars.
They have 3 sets of tires. The set that was on the car when they started the race, and then they have 2 sets in their pit area. So I'm sure they'll be changing tires, topping them off with fuel when they're able to make that stop, but then make those important adjustments. Right now, Derek Thorne's probably saying this car is perfect.
Yeah, he wishes it would be 100 laps straight, no intermission, no halftime break, no anything. Trouble, little big wreck on the racetrack.
And Lucas Lassier in the 81 involved in this. Darrell Wallace Jr. as well as Fensler, they were running for second. This is the 4th caution that's come out at Toyota Speedway.
This must have happened right in front of our leaders. Darrell Wallace, you see a little bit of damage to the left rear of that Toyota.
Darrell Wallace Jr. down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Looks like the tires are up.
That's, you saw the 81.
A lot of damage to Fensler's car.
Lucas Lassier in the 81 has a rear bumper that's completely gone. Problems for the 53.
Cole Cabrera.
Cole Cabrera with the front end smashed on his race car. There's the bumper. Yeah, for Lucas Lassier. Pastrana looks like he was able to get through any problems clean. Take another look. What just happened?
Little contact. Moses Smith gets into the side of Lucas Lassier. Ooh.
And like you said, it happened right in front.
That was Brendan Newberry.
Yep.
That made hard contact with the outside wall. There's Derek Thorne, the red car, trying to make his way through there. The 6 of Darrell Wallace Jr. and Jason Fensler look like they got together. Here's another look. Watch for our leader. There's Matt Koboluk going through there. Here comes Derek Thorne. Looks like Darrell Wallace Jr. and the 50 of Fensler made contact trying to avoid this. Here they're there driving in turn number 1. Now the action that's going to happen coming right up in front of them.
And he got hit.
Got hit by Fensler. Looked like maybe Darrell Wallace Jr. was going to try to turn to the inside to avoid Lucas Lassier, and when he did, unfortunately, Fensler already had his right front fender up beside him, and there's the contact, the result of the contact right there.
So running second, Darrell Wallace Jr. and third, Fensler. Involved in this accident, Derek Thorne able to get through it. Greg Pursley will move up to the 2nd spot. Mayhew, Bowles, and Suarez round out our top 5. Things heated up early here in the Toyota All-Star Showdown. Augie Vidovich catching fire early on. Brendan Newberry having problems in his number 39. Sean Case also getting caught up in it. Short track racing from Toyota Speedway in Irwindale. Lucas Lassier in the 81 sliding across the racetrack. And again, this is just our first 100 lap race events. Great crowd on hand here for the Toyota All-Star Showdown.
Great weekend, really.
Yeah,
2-day show here, qualifying races, and a super late model race yesterday, and as well as the late model race we had earlier this evening, and this great 225 lap Toyota All-Star Showdown.
Great weather out here in Southern California, and the field will start doubling up 2 by 2. Derek Thorne, Greg Pursley back to 1 and 2. Pursley started on the inside of row number 1. Brendan Newberry's had a very tough night, hasn't he, Dick?
He sure has. Right now, Newberry's in the garage area. They've got the car up on the jack. All four corners of this car are significantly damaged. But they can put a lot more people to work behind pit wall, so that's what they're doing. Only 4 are allowed to work on the car when it's on pit road. But back here behind the wall, They can put as many people on this problem as they want to, and they got a pile of them working on Newberry's car right now.
Field all in line 2x2. Persley on the inside, Thorne on the outside. Coming out of turn number 4. Green flag back in the air. A lot better restart for Persley that time. David Mayhew in the 19 taking the low route, trying to make it 3 wide as they come out of turn 2.
Thought Persley might have had the advantage for a second coming off of turn number 2, but Thorne fights back.
Jason Bowles has moved up to the 3rd spot at number 75. The preferred line has been the high side around this racetrack. We see Chad Boat going down to the bottom, and Chad Boat goes around.
He made contact with Paul Hiraka. Chad was down on the bottom. We stay green. Chad gets that car righted.
Gets it back out on the racetrack, and he'll be just in front of our race leaders. Derek Thorne coming out of turn number 2 now.
Thorne opens up a bit of a gap over the 26 of Greg Persley. Jason Bowles with a good run going right now in 3rd. There's Suarez and David Mayhew in a side-by-side battle for 4th.
Problems right in the front stretch. Pastrana able to guide his car through it somehow. The 7 of Travis Motley stopped on the racetrack. The 86 of Daniel Suarez also working through the grass.
Remember, Suarez was in that battle with David Mayhew for the 4th position.
See sparks coming out of the 2 of Germán Quiroga.
Right front tire may be down on Germán's car. It is down.
He'll try to make his way onto pit road, and we see Darrell Wallace Jr. Still more damage to the left rear of that race car. A little scuff on the side of the 99 for Pastrana.
Yeah, that was absolutely right in front of Travis. He did a great job not getting any more of a piece of that than he did.
Pastrana has made his way up to as high as 14th at one point in time on our scoring monitor. Now being shown 17th.
A lot more damage on Darrell Wallace Jr.'s Toyota.
Take another look at what just took place on the front stretch.
Something happened to Darrell Wallace Jr.
Slow right in the middle of turn number 4, coming off of turn 4. Everyone trying to avoid.
It's Travis Motley, the 7 car on the inside of the racetrack.
Right along with Pastrana.
It's Moses Smith on the outside. Here they come off the corner, and they're just stopping in front of him. He made a little bit of contact with the 8 of Johnny Borneman.
There you see the damage to the left side of that 8 of Borneman. Those 2 cars colliding just before they got to Darrell Wallace Jr., who is now on pit road, and they're going to work on that race car.
Trying to restart that car. Looked like it lost power right there coming off of turn number 4.
Chad Boat was on the bottom of the racetrack trying to grab positions.
Right before this incident, Chad Boat got into Paul Hiraka. Look right at your screen. There they make contact. Chad comes around, did a little 360, and then kept his car running. Here's another look at it. You see Chad's down on the bottom of the racetrack. Paul Hiraka decides to go to the bottom. They make contact. I think Travis Pastrana has had to dodge every single incident we've had so far and has done a great job of it, Dick.
Well, Darrell Wallace told the crew that the car just went poof. The engine blew. That's why he stopped coming off the 4th corner. He's done for the night.